Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Misrepresented Episode 2. I'm your host, Lisa Opie.
And I'm Ramina Ashfaque,
your co-host.
your co-host.
So, yeah, we're still kind of getting used to, introductions. I feel like
Yeah.
videos are so easy, but intros and outros are, the hardest part.
I know why.
I don't know. I always struggle with that.
And that's something that we missed out on the first episode is why misrepresented.
Okay, so do you want to tell them?
You tell them.
I don't know, because we're both pageant girls, so that's why it's like MISS. And I feel like we are misrepresented as pageant girls, but also as female entrepreneurs, as women in general, and
Minorities.
Exactly, minorities. I mean, every single way we're so misrepresented. I feel like people judge us on the way that we look, our careers as influencers and models. So instead of saying misrepresented, we did MISS represented because we're bringing that representation to you guys.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, I feel like it's a mouthful.
To
it's
me.
a lot.
For them.
So topics, I feel like we cut out a little bit short last time, so I think we can pick up where we left off because we were just getting into that juicy stuff, right?
Yeah. For sure.
How bullying led me to doing pageants, and a lot of failures and people making fun of me motivated me to work harder.
Yeah.
So
Same.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah, of course. That can be. It's like, which part of my life should we choose from? Which part do I say?
Which part? I mean, okay, so for me, I guess bullying is trauma.
Yeah.
And I've been through a lot of personal trauma, even as an adult. So I feel like every time something happens, I hit rock bottom, I'm like, how am I going to come out on top, higher than ever? Yeah. And I come up with this plan and I just drown myself in work. And that's how all of my successes come out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did, but
not drowning in work.
Not drowning, but that's it. It happened that way too for me. Yeah, the traumatic experiences.
Which one would it be? The pageants or business or school?
So I think we could start with the pageants.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. We were young, right? So
yeah.
And I've never really watched them. I was just approached to do it, so I just did it. I'm like, okay, I'm here. Hey, what's up? But I wasn't always, the prettiest girl when I was growing up. No, not when I was in high school. A lot of things changed. A lot of people know.
We have to do an episode on that.
We're going to do an episode on that.
Y'all are going to talk about it. Run to the comments, whatever. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. I have nothing to hide. Everything is very open.
We're so open.
I've always been very open about my life. I've never really hid anything. And I think that's one strong suit about me because I can't even hide anything. I'm such a bad liar. But anyway, so pageantry. Why I did it. I felt like the first experience that I had was it was a traumatic experience, but it was good because I was like, wow, I learned a lot. This is amazing.
Which pageant?
It was the Miss, and this is gonna be a very controversial thing. Miss India, Florida.
Okay. And you're not Indian?
No.
But I'm sure people could assume.
But they wanted me to do it, and that was my first one. I had no idea what I was doing, so please don't get upset. I did it.
Yeah.
I won.
Oh my
And then it was a problem.
I'm so sorry.
And then I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then
so
after
what happened? Who was upset? I wish I
can remember. Everybody was upset because I wasn't supposed to win. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not.
Did they find out you were Pakistani? Were you open about that?
I was open about that. I never said I wasn't. They knew that. Yeah. They're the one that approached me to be in it. So
Oh my god.
So that was, a whole nother story.
So whatever. Did you give up your crown?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty traumatic. Nobody should go through that.
Yeah. I gave it up.
Did they ask you to, or you were like, I'm done?
No, they asked me to.
Don't leave us hanging, Ramina. Go there. Go there.
Because it's so long ago, I wish I remember details. But everything was okay at the end. I accepted it. I was like, whatever. That's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do Miss Pakistan because I'm Pakistani.
Yes.
That's what's more important. I'm gonna represent myself and my culture and my people because my people are not open in that realm, and that's a whole topic.
Yeah,
I think that we're gonna go off to because I feel like in my time in doing pageantry, I broke a lot of barriers, starting with social media and all the way through pageantry.
No, literally, I feel like as soon as you open an Instagram account, all these people, you're a Muslim woman, you shouldn't even like be showing it, like anything.
I
They
got
would literally
death
tear you
threats.
apart. Yeah.
Death threats.
Yeah.
Things have changed now in the years, but like
Good.
all those experiences made me go harder. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna stop.
Oh
Like,
my
and I'm not doing
gosh.
anything wrong. I'm
You're
representing people. I'm representing women. Like,
exactly.
I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not like, I wanted to share success and ambition, like to like these
Yeah.
girls that anyone can do it. You don't have to sit at home and like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, the religious people are gonna come at me for this, but it is what it is. I had all the death threats that, like I said, it pushed me even harder. I went to pageantry 10 times harder after that.
Yeah.
That's why I kept going.
Wow. And like, look at you now. Like, you represented Pakistan on the international level 3 times.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. That's
Yeah.
really, really incredible. So I feel like when people say you can, or even like when you get like weird vibes, that's when you're like, oh, like I want to work harder.
Yeah.
So haters can keep on hating.
You're
Keep it
just gonna make
coming, and
us
we're
better.
just gonna like keep working harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, put us down. I dare you.
And not in a bad way. I mean, we don't mean that
Of
maliciously. We're
course.
just like, it's just the truth. Like
Yeah.
anyone that's like come at us, and we just like, okay, and we never go at them back.
Never.
Never.
No.
Never harder. Never. We don't fight back. We just do better
Yeah.
for ourselves.
Of
And when you do
course.
better for yourself, it shows.
I mean, I feel like the best person at revenge is God. So
Yeah.
whenever people do me wrong, I'm like, you know what, God, you take over. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep living my life. I'm too busy for this, you
Yeah.
know, and just cut him out of my life. Bye.
Yeah. That's it.
And you know what? God always comes through.
Yeah. God always comes through.
Yes, he does.
What are your
Whatever.
traumatic experiences that pushed you?
I
to
guess
where
I
you are
had to
now?
start with bullying. Like being bullied so I was homeschooled, right? And I was like literally a very easy target because in middle school, I told my parents, I was like, I need to go to school. Like, I need to get socialized. Like, I want to go out and like meet people. So I begged my parents, and they finally let me go to a Christian private school.
Wow.
Joining in middle school, okay, I had glasses, braces. I'm Asian. This is Williamsburg, Virginia. They've never seen an Asian person before other than like on TV. So they would like look at me and they would literally like pull their eyes like this and be like ching chong ling long. Like it's traumatic,
Oh my
right?
God.
They would say I'm ugly. They would like spread rumors about me. Like it never stopped for me. So that's actually how I got into makeup. Is like I hated the way my eyes looked. I would literally pull my eyes like this so they would be more round. It's so horrible to say that. And then I learned how to do makeup to make my eyes look bigger, and it was such a unique way to like create the illusion of a bigger eye and like less Asian looking. Please, I want your eyes. Oh my gosh, I love them.
I
So
was called like bug-eyed.
oh my gosh,
But-
see, it's like you can never win. They're
No.
always gonna come for you,
eyes,
no
yeah.
matter what. So that's kind of how makeup started. Was like just learning how to conform to people and fit in Williamsburg, Virginia, at this little private school because these losers, these bums, were making fun of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at me now and look at my makeup business. Like I
Yeah.
made 2 careers out of it with the hair and makeup team. We won awards in pageantry for being the best hair and makeup, and then the whole cosmetics line. So again, thank you, bullies, and thank you, God. They always come through.
I remember when you used to make fun of me for using my fingers when I did my makeup.
I
You're
know.
like, what are you doing? You're so
But
embarrassing.
like,
I'm
you
like,
did
I
a
know.
good job though. No,
I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I
what
just
I
know what I
remember
know.
is your beauty blender because I thought it was a nude color.
Could use it for everything.
No, but my personal beauty blender to this day looks like that. It was pink at one point, but now it's like the color of my skin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'll wash it tomorrow. I'll wash it next week. Cake on that concealer and whatever is on that thing. Like, I don't know how my skin is not burning off. But my professional kit's clean. My personal kit, no. It's like homeless. So like going back to the trauma, Lady Code was probably like the next big thing after Vizcaya because I was just like done with Vizcaya at that point because swimsuits, it's a lot of sizes, I'm sure, in clothing, you know.
Oh my God, don't even get into that.
Dealing with sizes,
Yeah.
especially something so personal as a swimsuit. They're like, oh, I need like a medium top and like an extra small bottom, and then like, oh, this isn't big, can I do a return? I was like, okay, this is a lot, let me do something that's like a little more fun and cuter. So at that time, like I finished pageantry and I was like, I don't know what to do with my life because I always had such a purpose. It was just pageants, right? Like you figure it out, like it moves you. And after I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm like, definitely retired. Let's do Lady Code, and it started as like a women's wellness platform focusing on empowerment. So just like a blog, a website, and then YouTube, like social media, cute stuff like that. So there was the YouTube channel, and we were doing a lot of like interviews and empowerment things, but also like makeup tutorials and reviews, and those really took off. So through that, people started calling me and booking me to do their personal makeup for prom and stuff, and flying me out. And I was like, wow, this could be like a real thing. And I remembered I still had my connections in the pageant industry. So I talked to the directors. I'm like, hey, like, I was begging them. I was like, can I please do makeup at your pageant? Like, give me a chance, I'll do it for free. Like, I was doing winners for free. And it really blew up. Like, I think I just like blew up so quickly. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere, right? And I was so happy about it. It was really exciting. And Lady Code is just such a big umbrella for other like small brands, because back to the YouTube channel, I was making so much money for my affiliate like links. Like, I would track my sales, and I'm like, wow, like these people made so much money off of me just using their stuff in their video. Why are they getting so much out of it? So I was like, let me see if I can make my own. And I started with lashes. I was not making a lot of money on YouTube at that time. It was like $400 a month, and then like paid deals here and there. So I think I put in about $400 on like a very small batch of lashes. I spent a lot of money on the packaging. It's more expensive than the lashes itself. And I launched, and it sold out like right away. So that first small batch of lashes like sold out so quickly. I turned a profit, and like immediately I reinvested that into like my next inventory, and I kind of kept doing that for a while. So I would just order more each time, more and more. And I was just exclusively the lash girl until COVID hit. Again, trauma, right?
For everybody.
Yeah, for everyone. So through that mutual trauma, I had some money saved up, thank God. Everybody was asking for their deposits back for all the bookings I had during like the COVID, everything that was canceled. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not gonna have a job anymore. I'm not gonna make money off of hair and makeup. I have to sell more of my products. So the little bit that I had, I created palettes, and that's how I started the Snatched palette. And thanks to like BLM at that time as well, like the world was ending, right? It was like coming to an end. So with BLM, I learned a lot. Like, I really educated myself on like how important it is to have inclusive makeup. And I worked so hard and like consulted with all of my friends to make sure that I could make a palette that worked for everybody, like every skin type. And I feel like the Snatched palette did that.
It really did. That's all I've been using since you gave it to me.
That's all I use in my kit. Yeah, it's like a ride or die palette, and it's really made for everybody, every skin tone. It works. And like, as a professional makeup artist, I work with everybody, and that works. So what about Ash? Tell me a little bit about that.
So, I mean, I talked very briefly in our first episode about that. But going into it deeper now, like I said, I've always wanted to do something of my own. I just wanted to kind of also get out of nursing, but I also wanted something that was mine. So I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I had this idea for years, like I said before, but I didn't know how to go about it. So I let it go. I just let it be. I just kept going, doing whatever I'm doing. That's 2021 is when I went to my last pageant, Miss Grand International. And then after that, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I need to figure it out,
It's kind of like when you're done with pageants, you're like, what do I do next? Because that was like your purpose.
Yeah, it's so crazy. That's what I mean. Like we really click because it's so ambition based.
It really is.
Yeah, it's like, because you're doing so much for it. And then when you stop, it's like,
who am I?
What's
my purpose?
What's happening? You can't just go back to a regular job because it's not a regular thing. What do they say? There's a statistic. Something about your son is more likely to become an NFL player than your daughter is.
Super Bowl than your daughter is
to become Miss USA.
Yeah. No, to compete at Miss USA.
So
if you're Miss Virginia USA, like you're really beating out the chances.
Yeah. So it's crazy to like be part of that, little realm. So when you stop, it's like, oh my God, what am I doing? So anyway, after that one, that's when I was like, okay, that's my last one. It really was, because oh my God, I felt old there. So I went through a lot during 2021. I think that was probably one of the hardest years of my life. I don't have childhood trauma, but I have adulthood trauma. So that's where it's like when you go through something, you push for something even harder.
Oh yeah.
So that's also when I came to you and I was like, how do I make this happen? How do I make this work? And you're the one that was like, you gave me the like first little steps to like move forward with Ash.
Yes.
So that's where I'm like forever grateful for you. But then I just went on from my own. I found a manufacturer. I designed everything by hand. I drew everything out, just like things that I imagined, because I'm like, I dress a certain way as a nurse, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make my scrubs look like this because I don't like I hate like baggy clothes, and like I think a lot of people hate that. Like in the healthcare field, it's like people feel like they're wearing a trash bag. So I'm like, I wanted to make something that was very flattering for everybody. So I have all my drawings. It's so funny, like exactly like what I wanted, and I made that come to life, and I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, I mean, that did come from trauma, and like also having that like mentality of like, what am I doing next? What am I doing next? What am I doing next? Because I didn't really actually think about that until right this second when you said that. Like, yeah, that was after the pageant. I was like, wait.
So it was probably like a perfect storm for you.
Yeah, because it was like I went through a lot that year, and I like couldn't take it anymore. Like a lot of people do, they kind of drown them, like try to find something to drown themselves in. So drown themselves in work or drown themselves in, whatever.
Yes.
Some people go down the wrong path.
Literally like drugs and alcohol.
But I don't do that. So like I've never been interested. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Like I don't like any of that. So like
I feel like businesses is my drug.
Yeah, it really is. Like I mean, and that's why I said like I learned so much from you. Like you being my friend. Like I don't have any other friends that like have like multiple businesses and like stuff like that. I was like, wow, like she really, really like did it, and she
like
did
starting
it.
from
And
scratch,
I watched you do it.
It's not like we had anything handed to us. Like we started from nothing.
Like I started it from a piece of paper.
Exactly.
Ash came from a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And
like we're normal people.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because I've known you for so long, but I've watched everything happen and so quickly for you. So I'm like, wow, like if that could, like she made this happen. Like first of all, I mean, you're very smart, but like I'm like maybe I can do it too.
I feel like we have to be a little bit delusional. Like
maybe I am a little bit of delusional.
I really do live in that delusion, but I feel like it's also like a manifestation method, and I'm just like, I see myself doing this, I'm gonna do it.
I 100% agree with that. Like I believe in manifestation 1000%.
Oh yeah.
I feel like everything that I've wanted, I've made happen. And I can 100%. Say that like foot down.
Yeah.
Anything. Like back from like the pageant stuff, I was like, I didn't win. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna win again. Like I'm gonna keep going. School didn't do so great. Went back. Like I just kept like it just I'll say something that is very real and a lot of people don't know. But the first nursing program I was in, I flunked out of in the first semester. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was just like they were kind of picking at me too. There's like a lot of stuff. That's what like, girls like us,
we get picked on a lot. We get bullied
it's hard in other fields. And people might not agree with that, but there are a lot of people that do understand that fact. We have it a little bit harder. So I was like really, really picked on. There was like a whole story that went along with that. I went to Dean and everything. Anyway, my point of that story is I was like, this isn't going to be this. I was like, this isn't going to be the end of this.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to be a nurse. I went to the next school. I figured it out. Interviewed again. Had to retake some classes because they made it happen. Studied my butt off because I hate school. Like I'm not like one of those people that are like very booksy and test takers, and I'm a horrible test taker. Like I can't do it for the life of me. So, and nursing school is very hard. So I made that happen. And then I was like, again, with Ash, I was like, I'm going to make something happen. And I manifested it. I mean, manifestation is real, just like you. Like everything you've done, you wanted a supercar. Look, you're driving a pink, shiny McLaren.
It's like something that you can't even envision. It's like I created that.
Yeah, you did that, and you did that in a really short amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me, like time flew by, I guess, because we're both so busy in our lives.
Yeah.
But like, it's crazy. Like manifestation is so real. Like people that are like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. Yeah, you're not going to do it if you keep saying that.
Thank you. Or like, I'm broke. And like when I was in that mentality, my gosh,
you're gonna stay broke. If you say you're broke, you're gonna stay broke. If you say you can't do something, you're never gonna do it.
No, so I have to ask like a weird question, right? Because like we're both religious. So where does like God come into the picture of manifestation? Because I feel like it's like a really nice combination because I feel like when a door closes and you're manifesting something, and there's been so many times where I haven't gotten that thing. And I'm like, okay, it's okay. I trust God. He's looking out for me. And then he'll give you something so much better. Like I wanted to win Miss United States so bad in 2012. And if I won that year, I would be married with kids in like Kentucky or something. Like I would not be where I am today because Miss Gaia would have never happened. You know, like that phone call never would have come through. It's just like so crazy how sometimes the door closes because there's something better for you and you just have to trust. So like right now, right now, I feel like there's doors closing. And
for me too.
Right. And I'm like, you know what? Just trust God because something better is coming. And I feel it in my bones and I know it's coming. And I'm just going to sit back and wait because when the time is right,
it's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all these years, like you want something, but it was never the right time.
Exactly.
And everything is a perfect storm to where you are today.
It is.
It's true.
Yeah. And like how everything worked out with you, I feel like you had all the connections that you needed to make Ash happen when it came together, like your photo shoot, right? Yeah. Like it was just perfect.
Like exactly. If I did this like years ago or something, I wouldn't have had all the girls that I had.
Exactly. Like
I wouldn't have known them. Like Anissa, Chavi. Like first of all, thank you guys for doing that. Like I still thank them so much. But these are such incredible girls, and that's why we're gonna get into like the friendships of pageantry.
Because these girls get it. Like the girls that get it. They're the pageant girls.
They get it. They get it. And when I showed every single one of them, this is why I knew they were the ones. Yeah. Every single person I showed this to, they were like, yes. 1000% yes.
I love that.
Yeah. They were like, no doubt. This looks amazing. I see the vision. I see it. And they made it happen. And they made it look so incredible.
It's the team effort. But yeah, you got so lucky. So I think we have to wrap up today's episode. Yeah. But I think next week we're going to talk a little bit about the hardships of being a female entrepreneur because we talk about how we got there, but do we struggle? It is not easy being a girl and a business owner. So stay tuned for next week.